What's up, everybody? It's 2026. Welcome back to Women's Rugby Treehouse.
Woo,
Everybody's in the house.
woo.
We're so happy to have everybody. As always, I'm Julia. I'm here with my co-hosts and good friends, Hattie and Sean. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Woo!
So it's
It's
2026
2026.
woo.
against our will. Rugby is continuing, and we are pretending like we didn't take a giant break because
Do you know what? If you're listening or watching in the future, you won't know the difference.
you won't even
If
know.
if
And
it's
if
2028 and you've just discovered rugby and for some reason you've decided to listen to our podcast from the beginning, you won't know that we took a giant break.
and
Wow.
you'll need to catch up on the old seasons so you get all the lore.
Yeah. You need to know
True.
about my dead dog.
I was just gonna say it's always gonna be something about a fucking dead dog.
We're just like Noah Khan.
Oh my God. So we're going right into the references for laser targeted demographics.
I can't believe we're at dead dog stage already. We're
We're the dead
barely
dog
5 minutes
stage, a
in.
dead dog stage slash sad gay music.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
So with all of that, we've got some stuff to cover. We're gonna try to keep it tight. That's another new thing we're trying for 2026. We don't intend to stick to it. But Hattie, where are we starting from?
How have we all been? Are we all good? I know me and Julia were just watching the hockey, same
Hmm.
sport, different fonts.
Yeah,
Um, we assumed the final score was 5-0. We gave up watching because it was destroying
it
my soul.
it was not. It was not what any of us expected. And
Wait,
I'm
what was the score to who?
To the
5-0 to
USA.
USA.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. Um, for the probably two people, like two that I can think of, and whose names we know, who are both rugby or both women's rugby treehouse fans and hockey fans. For those two people, they would be yelling that Canada did not have their captain and star, which is true.
Mhm. It's
They'll
like playing
probably still win.
it's like playing without Sophie to Goody.
Exactly.
Mm.
Which,
Uh,
yeah, but still, just like Canada rugby, Canada hockey is still good. Whatever. We love sports. We love the Olympics. If you love women's sports,
Mm.
drop a note in the comments.
Imagine if Canada rugby was coached by Johan Cunningham and Sophie de Goody was out. And there you have the Canadian women's hockey team.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. I'm trying to see. So, it's difficult. Like, I understand where you two, especially, are like, yeah, Yoan, but like, Yoan wasn't universally hated among his whole team. I'd say he's more like,
Let me shit on Johan.
what?
Or
There we
Kingsley
go.
Jones. Kingsley
There we go.
Jones
That's a
was,
good one. That's a
yeah,
very good one.
That's a
Bringing it
better.
right
Yeah.
back. That's perfect too.
yeah,
That works.
topical. Yeah.
So far, we've been very topical. We've been things that we know are crossover interests of our.
We're getting all the buzzwords for the AI bots.
We're getting all of the buzzwords for the AI bots. At
Winter
one
Olympics,
point,
Winter Olympics, Winter
Winter
Olympics.
Winter
Olympics.
Olympics, Winter Olympics, Hillary Knight. Okay,
Hillary Knight,
so
speed skating girlfriend.
Hillary Knight
Brooklyn Beckham,
Bravo.
Brooklyn Beckham, Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Beckham.
Beckham wasn't even at the Olympics, but Brooklyn Beckham for the algorithm. Um, and then also at one point in the recording, we say out loud, letter by letter, how to spell both of your names
Mm,
because it gets that wrong.
yeah.
What
Don't get me
I really
started
love
on
is
this.
that, and I really love this because we're going to get a count from the editor of how many minutes it took for us to get to rugby. That's fine. I'm extending the numbers. I do love that when they're getting Sean's name wrong, they don't even get it right for like the wrong spelling of Sean. They're like different. It's a
Yeah.
different word.
Yeah.
We made up a new name. It's really
It's
insulting,
I
and we decided that it's Cymru-phobic.
I just think I'm just starting to believe that that is my name now. My name is
Yeah.
Sian.
It's
yeah.
Cyan. You also, I mean, especially because you're such an avid coffee drinker, you've gotten the gamut
Mm.
of ways and things that they call you.
Oh
Um,
yes.
in the beginning of being your friend, it was funny, and then it became like sad, and then I was like, she's doing it. It's working.
This is
Getting
why you
worse.
have to adopt an English name so that
Yeah.
they
Wow.
can't.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've
What
done
could
That's
I
it.
Welsh
be?
as that's Welsh
Should
as
I
hell. It's
should I
true.
just be Jane? Because that is Welsh.
It's true.
That is
Yeah, Jane.
Shan.
No, it
That
is
is
Sean or
Shan.
Jane. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you've just got to do what you got to do.
Speaking
Yeah.
of doing what you got to do,
Let's go move on to the big news. So, obviously, we can't cover everything because our podcasts are already horrendously long. And as noted, we did have a bit of a break. So, we decided to break things up. We're going to start off with the big news. Julia, over to your corner.
Sure. My news is mostly good, so that's where we're going to start. Bringing you WER news, which for new fans, hopefully we do have new fans from watching over the Rugby World Cup, and I guess nothing's happened since then, international. But hopefully you have found us some new way. WER is the Women's Elite Rugby, which is the American Professional League. As we talked about, we're calling it among us our last season. As we discussed last season, WER just completed its inaugural successful season. There were some hiccups. There are still some hiccups. Like any new league, even if you do have a little bit of money, which is nice because they do. Other than that, for example, we still don't have a broadcast deal. That's kind of the top level for now. That said, nobody has said no to something like YouTube. There's still a lot of hope. We aren't in the doom stage yet. And the good news is we have a whole WER schedule already, which means that, things are on their way. That's great. For example, we don't even have like a WXV or a Pac 4 schedule. So great. I'm glad we have this. And that schedule starts in May. And Hattie has an opinion.
Do you think, is it Oprah that launched, or is it Queen Latifah? This is problematic. The Women's Sports Network in the US.
Right.
Do you think it could end up on there?
I wondered about that, to be honest. Which would be cool. I will say that I consume a lot of both domestic American sports, not even just rugby, but other sports and also international sports, and I have not yet seen a sport on that channel. So, right, which leads me to believe, and especially because, so what I was thinking was for America, just, you know, whatever stupid rugby bullshit aside, rugby culture bullshit aside, the best thing for us to do, I think, is to follow NWSL fans. Where they go, we should go. Sorry, it's the easiest crossover. I would also say PWHL, but PWHL has been smart enough to put it on YouTube.
Yep.
So I would love it if they just did that. And you know what? We love to dump on PWR, but I would like to give them one shout out. The one thing they did right is that everything is international. Everything is available internationally on YouTube. Just do that. You can, if my other
What's the
thought has
problem?
been
Like, why,
well,
sorry, why is there an issue with this? Because I always think that American sports usually have this kind of stuff nailed.
yeah. So unfortunately, the only thing that I can really conclude is that I don't think that they're seeking anything crazy. They have their feet on the ground, but it could be that they are seeking something that is nominally profitable, or they might want something that's easier to track stats, which obviously YouTube notoriously isn't. I don't really know why, and I understand why they walked away from DAZN then. But I don't know. The thing is,
Sorry, I was just going to say, I do also wonder, is it to do with the types of locations and the stadiums that they're using not really being set up for broadcasting? Like,
right.
when you look at the
That's
PWHL, like
yeah.
the PWHL, the arenas that they used in the first season where it was entirely streamed on YouTube, they were
A lot of them weren't set up for it. The same way that
no, what I was going to say is that like Toronto, Minnesota, they're professional hockey arenas, whether or not they're in like the top tier men's leagues.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, like they already had the streaming capabilities there. They already had broadcasting capabilities. Whereas I know with the Bay Breakers, it came out pretty early on that they couldn't stream from there.
Exactly. And so interestingly enough, so we talk about all of that, but well, it's not interesting, I guess it's kind of bad. But as recently as, honestly, I think this season might be the first, but as recently as last season in PWR, you couldn't stream from Shaftesbury Park. That was a big thing. But we even talked about it. There was just like, get the VO up. Like, I don't care. But also, it's 2026. Everything's been about the year of the girl athlete or whatever. So pay up. it doesn't escape, even if it's something that makes us feel good and isn't a horrible capitalistic venture. It is true. You have to spend money to even break even,
I
but
mean,
make money eventually.
a Stridmanach manages it, and I know it's not
Exactly,
great as a Stridmanach.
no, but it's true. But it's
But
true.
even
But
when
it's
they're
decent.
streaming out of like the weirdest places, no offense to Irish Celtic Challenge viewers, but like some of the places that they make their girls play,
Yes. I
and
mean,
they're making it
we've
work.
known about Ireland and venue problems forever. We know that they're going to keep doing that. They
Yeah.
still do it to the AIL teams, so
Yeah.
nothing's changing.
Sorry to go on about YouTube a second,
No,
but it's
please.
interesting because we were talking about it in work. So YouTube, I didn't know this, they can escape certain legislation because they don't count as a broadcaster.
So like
I know.
for doodads
That really opens up my brain.
TV
I need to think more
licenses.
about that after we record because
Yeah.
that's
I
really
literally found
interesting.
it.
I
I
didn't
know.
know that.
I
And wait,
literally
so
found this out in a meeting today, and I was dying to tell you, and I just remembered I had to tell you. Yeah, it's blown my mind because it means that because obviously
That's
BBC's just
crazy.
had an agreement now. We're showing our content for the first time ever on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like we've accepted that it has to be a thing, but also they're getting a lot kind of for free because they don't.
Yeah.
YouTube don't have to. They don't have to worry about
well,
content. You know,
I was just going to say they get away from
restrictions.
all of the broadcast legislation. And then so my other question is, I wonder if YouTube gets away with it simply because it is impossible to have a different policy for 192 countries. Like it's
Yes.
so hard to prevent people from accessing YouTube, and there are lots of ways around it that there isn't for something like ITV or the BBC. Like it's just not that easy.
I know. Sorry, I just threw that curveball in.
No, but I mean that's crazy though. I would totally understand it if it didn't now have the capability that you can fully live stream in real time on YouTube, which you couldn't when it started. But that's crazy. How are you not a broadcaster? That I would just put all my news, like I would be a news channel and just be like, I'm YouTube news only now.
Basically, yeah, it's mad. I know.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that really explains why. Like,
I think
oh God,
it explains a lot.
I was about
I
to
think it
curse
explains a lot.
I was about to curse our algorithm and be like, oh, well, it explains like why Ben Shapiro can do that. But now they're going to put us in that algorithm.
Don't do that.
I would really love it. I would really love it if a bunch of like men who are becoming brain rotted by that content, like this was put on and they like weren't paying attention or whatever. They're like, I have been listening to
Yeah.
to the three wokest women
The three wokest women in rugby. And
in
then,
rugby, a thing they care about.
Yeah, and then hopefully they end up on a Rugby History Project podcast
Absolutely.
where I'm talking about racism.
When aren't you? Only when it's class warfare.
Yeah.
That would be right.
One or the other. Sometimes
hey,
both.
speaking of inequity, we have another league to talk about.
Oh, I think that's a good segue into the Celtic
Yeah.
Challenge. Yay! Yeah, so the big news in the Celtic Challenge this season is we have playoffs.
Which makes it feel so much more real.
It makes it feel like an
it.
actual league.
I didn't
really
expect
does.
it to. I'll be honest, like it didn't hurt my feelings that there weren't any. It felt anticlimactic, which but I was still gonna watch it no matter what. That didn't change my mind. But this feels like
I think it felt really similar.
I like this.
Yeah, I totally agree. So so we've got semi-finals on the 20th. I think it is the 20th and 22nd of March, and the final
weekend
will be held on the 28th at the Hive in Edinburgh, which is awesome. I did hear a little sneaky thing on the ground that Cardiff Arms Park did bid for it but didn't get it, unfortunately. It's a shame. So yeah, tickets on sale.
I wonder if anything had to do with that.
I know, right? Yeah, little plug because tickets are on sale now. I'm thinking I might go. I don't know. Yeah,
I really hope you do.
They're very reasonably priced. I looked it up.
Very reasonably priced.
You did.
Friends who have gone before have said that the atmosphere is really good.
And
yeah, I love
also
Edinburgh as well.
Heard from a friend of the pod who will remain nameless. I got there eventually, so that he can carry on doing this. Is that you can in fact throw booze over the fence?
Yes.
Nobody told us that, but nobody told us that it's really not hard. And
I love it. So yes, I think it's the top two get the home semi-finals, and then the first team will play the fourth team, and then the second team will play the third team. And yeah, it'll be great. I think it really gives the league something to play for a little bit
And I
more at the
and I'd
end.
certainly say even what we've seen so far, it looks like all of the play is knocked up a level.
Yeah.
It feels like they're taking it
Yes,
seriously, which is the best they can do.
yep, definitely. So yeah, big news.
And then finally, here's the thing. We cannot cover every retirement that has happened since September to now. We cannot cover every pregnancy. We cannot cover every name change, okay?
No.
Because
And I was
nobody
actually
can.
trying to, and we can't. And I can't
We,
figure them
we,
out.
we can't. There's just so many, right? Excitingly, obviously, we've got Baby Joyce Butchers. Big shout out to the
Obviously, we care about
yeah
the once in future. I
Wales
don't know.
captain.
I was gonna say we haven't figured out where he plays yet. We have to watch him waddle, but then
Yeah.
we'll know.
Um, However, there was one really big
Kind of a
retirement,
big one.
which then led into other bits of news. So Scaz has retired. The one and only Emily Scarrett, former World Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I believe she's like, here's the thing. The records for women's rugby are notoriously crap, but I have a feeling she's easily the top point scorer in women's rugby. I would be really surprised if she wasn't.
Who else?
I
Who
believe
else could it
so.
be? Who else could it be? I can't.
I'm pretty sure she's the top point scorer for the Red Roses.
Yeah.
So like who would beat that? Unless it was somebody really random. You know how like in the men's game a Japanese player is the top try scorer.
Mm.
But like she would have kicked so many conversions.
That's actually a really great question.
Mm.
Anyway, that's a question for women's rugby data to figure out. Not us, because we are not math people. But Skaz has retired. And now, so when she announced her retirement, she also announced that she was becoming, I believe, the attack coach for Loughborough Lightning, which is where she played her whole PWR career. She went from, I believe, Leicester to Leicester Forest, or was it Leicester? No, Lichfield. She went from Lichfield to Loughborough when the PWR was created. And then I believe like last week or 2 weeks ago, she was announced to be the lead attack coach for the Red Roses,
Mm.
which is mad to me because lead attack coach suggests that there's multiple
There's no
attack
problem there.
coaches, which as a Wales
Probably.
fan is
Fuck
mad.
you.
That's
Which fuck you.
insane.
I would like to insert only because you were right, of course. I mean, fair call. You were right according to and of course RFU sometimes has outdated websites, so I don't know, but according to the RFU website, Emily Scarrett is the all-time highest point scorer, having accumulated over 750 points. The tally is currently 754. And she ended her career at 118 caps.
I just would be really surprised if anyone had beat her. Because
Mm.
the thing is,
broke the record previously held by Katie Daly McLean.
Yeah.
Because the thing is with Scaz, she wasn't just a prolific point scorer, like kicking.
One of the best kickers
Like
of
it wasn't just
her generation.
that, she also was a prolific try scorer, especially in her
Yep.
early days.
Yep.
Not so much later on in her career, but like she was an outside
She's
centre.
she's
scored a
still
lot of
retired with
tries.
53 international tries.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, like
suck.
but what I mean is most of those were scored early on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And also Red Roses having a very successful team as well. It's like if you're playing
Yes,
for Wales, you're not
and
going to
also and the Red Roses, which we have talked about before, but granted, it wasn't for the whole time that she's been playing for them, but definitely for the past like 4 or 5 years, the Red Roses have relied heavily on the maul try. So for a center to be getting the tries, you know.
Interesting. I just Googled it, and Non Evans, as her record is 64 tries for Wales, which is incredible, actually.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Sorry. Anyway, that's gone.
No, you're absolutely right. Shame about the Bramworms, but you were great at rugby.
Imagine how many tries Portia Woodman-Whitcliffe would have scored if she didn't spend half her time playing sevens and New Zealand rugby actually having a proper schedule for the Black Ferns.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's not fair. No, I know it would be really fun if we could combine her sevens tries and her 15s tries, but that's so dumb.
Yeah.
Apparently 64 is the world record.
Huh.
I did not know that. Okay, sorry.
How long? No, I definitely didn't know that, and I definitely wouldn't have guessed Non Evans. How long did she play international?
Quite a while.
A long time.
Like it was like 8 or 9 years.
Like I remember I trained with her once for Cardiff Quins when I was about
Oh, okay, then yeah,
15.
it had to be.
So
It
this
had
is
to
like
be.
in the 90s, and I'm pretty sure she had played for Wales, but that stage.
Yeah,
And I think she was
she
playing
played up
as
until like 2013
2010
or
or something.
2014.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, wow. Yeah, I
We're just
trained with
like
her
a
once.
men's rugby podcast where we devolve into just naming different years and players.
Mm. Just what everybody wants.
Everybody really likes it. It could only be better if we just started throwing out stats with no visuals, just stats.
Just
And you
pure
have to track
stats.
them yourself.
And being like, oh, do you remember this match in
Oh my
2012
God,
where
I
this team played
do.
this team? Oh, yeah. And then moved on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I quite like it.
I was gonna say it just sounds like Hattie, Julia, and Sean drinking like together. That's what we would do.
So now that we've covered the highlights of the news, we've covered WER, we've covered the Celtic Challenge, we've hit the big retirement. We move on to our favourite little pet league, the league that we all love. It's the Celtic Challenge. And Sean, I believe we have some boots on the ground journalism.
I have been to
It's
a
been
few
my
games,
favorite.
yes.
Yeah.
Although it feels like I haven't been to that many home games this year because
Because they're all at the back end, aren't they?
yeah, I think the way that the fixtures have fallen, and also Gwalia played a home game at Cardiff Arms Park against Britton, even though Britton also played a home game at Cardiff Arms. I don't understand why. But yeah, it doesn't feel like I've been to one game at Ystrad Manor, basically. And it
You
feels a bit
haven't
weird.
Yeah.
you haven't been able to have your bovril.
Exactly.
See, and
I am Bovril free. It's just bonkers.
she's dehydrated. She hasn't drank her broth.
You haven't been able to have your raspberry Lucozade to go with your bovril.
I know. They do though, at Ystrad Manor now have a sauna.
The idea
Oh.
gives me indigestion. You should drink both of those things and then get in the sauna.
Mm.
Oh my
I
God,
think
that
you'd
makes my
actually
stomach
be
hurt.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
I
my
would be
stomach
sick.
hurt.
I will
don't know
say
why I
though,
said that.
raspberry Lucozade Sport is very nice.
I love that stuff. I got
Oh.
it yeah, I've got loads. I bought
Raspberry is
in
my
bulk.
favorite artificial flavor of all time, so I would like to try this. I also would like to try Lucozade.
So
You know.
Lucozade
Lovely.
Sport is still, so it's kind of like Gatorade but not as sweet.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
That was what I figured.
But regular Lucozade is fizzy.
Yes.
Isn't it supposed to be for sports?
It's supposed to
if
be,
you
but they
are
realised
like-
if you
it's a
actually have
rehydrating. It's a
Well,
rehydrating.
I remember like in the 90s and stuff, the sports like rugby play. I think Cardiff were doing it. They were drinking Lucozade, the fizzy stuff, and feeling sick.
Yeah.
And they were like, why are the players feeling sick drinking?
I
And then
can't
they started
imagine.
bringing out the sports stuff then, obviously.
Yeah.
But mostly I drank Lucozade as a child when I was ill.
Yes, that's the thing.
Okay, that's what I was
That's the
thinking.
thing.
Is
That's the thing.
we have a product like this, but it's not fizzy. But it that was what I was thinking. Like, so for the like 3 American friends that I'm forcing to listen to at gunpoint, like,
And David.
and David, who is listening for fun. Unfortunately, I'm going to make him sick to his stomach too. Fizzy Pedialyte. That's what it sounds like. Ugh, that's so
Yeah,
cursed.
except Lucozade is the nectar of the gods.
I love Lucozade.
It's,
Although
Pedialyte is the nectar. Pedialyte is the nectar of the gods if you're hungover. It's for babies.
Don't
yeah, when
don't
you're
drink too
hungover,
much of it.
although
Don't drink too much of it. My friend
No,
got gout.
don't, because you'll get. I was gonna.
My friend got
Gout!
gout from
Yeah.
drinking too much Lucozade.
So they
seriously.
Okay,
had
I
to-
thought we were
She'll
going
kill me.
another way. I thought we
No,
were
she'll
going
kill
another
me.
way.
it's so full of
She's been eating
sugar.
too much
It is.
cod and liver and. Okay.
It's so full of sugar. When the sugar tax came in, they had to remove a bunch of the sugar, and now it doesn't taste the same.
I do have one, because it wouldn't be an episode of WRT if I didn't have one embarrassing story about myself that I immediately regret having told. So mine now is, so when I was younger, I mean, especially when I was playing rugby really heavily, I was a big Gatorade guy. But to the point where like I was always drinking Gatorade, and it's so fucking bad for you. But I was playing so much rugby because I was playing with 2 teams, because it was fake in America.
Mhm.
But I was playing with 2 teams, so I was playing like 4 to 5 nights a week. So I thought it was okay, and it kind of was. But something has happened relatively recently that has made me think about this portion of my life, and it'll be
Oh,
quick.
no.
So this is where it crosses over into our queer lives. I have a friend who is a friend from a long time ago, who I met through a girlfriend at the time, was the girlfriend at the time's roommate. And at the time, I was drinking a lot of Gatorade. I obviously broke up with that girlfriend. I lost track of this friend. This friend has re-entered my life through a completely different channel, but is now back in my life and has been talking to my wife. And
Is
when
this the
they,
haircut thing?
yes, this is
Okay.
that my wife now cuts the hair of this friend. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But for the longest time, my wife was hanging out with this friend by herself, so I wasn't there to give context. And apparently the first thing that this friend asked my wife is if I still only drink Gatorade. And my wife was like, I've never seen her drink Gatorade. And it's because I now have like high blood pressure from too much salt because there's so much fucking salt in it. This was a great story about how there's a lot of salt in Gatorade and how when you're gay, no one is ever gone forever.
To be fair, when you do sport, you lose salt.
You do. So now, am I a larger woman already as it is? Yes. Like because of the rugby, yes. For the rugby, yes. I don't play it now, but like it didn't go away. I tried. So
And also
body by
food.
Gatorade. What?
And also food is yummy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love having a really weird relationship with that. Now we're going to talk about women.
Anyway. Oh yeah, Celtic
Back to
Challenge.
the Celtic Challenge.
Yeah,
who don't.
So the Celtic Challenge, I think, has improved each year. We're only in the 3rd year, so it's still relatively new.
Third, fourth. We all ignore that first year.
Yeah, it was kind of a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
Nobody could watch it anyway.
I was going to say it was almost a punt just because first of all, half of us couldn't see it. Second of all, even when you could, like,
oh no, I'm talking about the first year where there was only one team per country.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. I thought you were talking about the first time in the revamped. Okay, gotcha.
No. But I personally, I've watched all the games. I think nearly all of the games, bar 1 or 2, have been really good games. Really good rugby. The ball is in play for a long time. I don't know if anyone. I think Sian, Lily Crap noted this in her commentary. I think it was against when Gwali were playing Edinburgh, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, like the ball is in play for long periods. I think the fitness has improved. I think the standard of play has improved. I think most of the teams have shown, well, all of the teams have shown improvement.
Absolutely, across the board.
The problem possibly for Scotland and Wales is that Wolfhounds, I think, have improved again this year. They just seem to be on another different level, which is great for them. They are a fantastic side. It's not great for the competition. Yeah, they're getting further and further away, I think.
I want to be more sick of them than I am because especially because of how it was at least last year. Well, no, because we did have valid complaints at one point that it seemed like they were just dumping half their nationals in there.
Yeah.
I will say this season,
it's not quite the same.
It hasn't been that bad.
Like they lost Eva Wafer to the PWR. They lost Brittany Hogan to the PWR.
Yeah.
But they've
still got a good side.
Yes.
They cut some of their like players who've played for a couple of years. Like they refreshed the side and they're still really dominant.
That's what I'm saying, is that like it might be a good setup.
It's interesting because obviously Gwalia have been going well this season, but they played Wolfhounds not this weekend before, and they Wolfhounds trashed them, right? Yeah. And it did surprise me a little bit. I probably didn't think we were going to win, but the manner of it,
I was surprised. I mean, obviously,
but looking at the team selections, Wolfhounds totally respected Gwalia. If you look at their team selections for the previous couple of games against, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Glasgow. I think it was Glasgow previously. They didn't pick such a strong side.
I was going to say it would have been the one where they absolutely battered Glasgow.
Yeah, but they're still battering the other teams without their best team out, and then of course up against it was first versus second effectively. So I think
I was gonna say like I wanted to really highlight, especially if you are here coming from my friends' various Welsh projects, like I think that Gwalia is a good sign.
Yes, they are definitely. They've improved a lot this year, I swear. I'm not just saying that because I'm biased.
No, but you're not. But I actually, it was making me think, unfortunately, and we won't veer off because this, like, I'm not joking, this could have potential to completely veer us off. So I want to stay focused, but there is a question related to this, unfortunately. Do you expect any upset with the merge or not merge, especially considering Britton's I was gonna say like who they're connected to, but like I guess not either. Um,
No, the plan for the WRU says that it's two women's sides.
great. So
So
we're not expecting.
yeah, I think the one thing that could potentially happen is, well, there's two. So the first would be potentially that the teams got renamed, and so it would be like
Which I think would,
Cardiff women and whatever.
yeah.
I mean, that's
Um,
if they keep the region names though. We still don't
That
really
was
know what's going to
we
happen
still
with
don't know
that.
that.
Like,
that was really where I was trying to steer.
it could be
I don't want to
Cardiff
say
Ospreys. We just don't know at the moment.
that
It
that
could-
okay.
So yeah,
Thank you. Perfect.
possibly.
That was exactly what I was wondering, especially because like if because it seems like WRU feels like if they can like stop everybody from talking about the regions all the time, because it like obviously that's where they fucked up the worst. They're like, let's just like not talk about regions. Like it feels like this would be where they do, where they're just like, no, no,
I, I think the problem is that they've really
no, I'm
dropped
glad
the
I'm
women
wrong. I want to know.
they've dropped the women in it so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
Where they
And
keep
we have feelings about that, but it's not
yeah,
right
like
now.
they keep being like, oh yeah, we're doing this to the men, but for the women we're doing this, have extra funding, and then it turns into like
Men versus
we
Turns
won't
into
go
everybody
into
beat
it.
on the
The
women.
the narrative is that they're dropping a men's team to fund women, which is
Yeah, which is not true.
categorically not true.
I beg you to just read the fucking document because the money pots aren't even the same.
Yeah,
They
they're
were
not the
never
same.
together.
They're not the same.
But I
It's the
hate that
condition
one
of the
stupid
CF
line.
It's the condition of the CVC as well.
Yeah.
Like
But
it's not only is it not that, not only do these teams get nothing from the men, but they couldn't. Even if
No,
like
it's different.
somebody who came in and was sympathetic to women's rugby, which by the way, WRU still doesn't really have. They have Belinda Moore and that's it. But Abby Tierney doesn't give a fuck. Those guys whose names I don't remember because I don't care. They don't give a fuck. But I know there's another one. There's another Nigel who isn't the Nigel that I know, but he sucks too. Whatever.
Anyway,
anyway,
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's basically they should stay at two teams. We need the two teams. However, Brython desperately needs a new coach.
Yes.
Because
You know,
I think
if
what
you
we've
got-
proved this year, sorry, what we've proved this year is that Gwalia have been able to do so much with so little, and yet
Yes.
Brython, in theory, have the same
Has
funding,
more.
the same
Oh.
coaching. They actually have more international, like experienced internationals, but they just cannot produce anything. And I think that's where you have to look at it and be like, this is the coaching.
Well, so that
Yeah,
was
I
what I
agree.
was going to say is WRU and its two remaining fans will not like to hear that Ashley Beck might be a shitty coach. I think he might be a bad coach.
I don't necessarily know whether he's a he's not a head coach.
I don't think he's a bad
Okay.
coach at all. I think he's I don't think he's a head coach.
Yeah,
They
I
are
think
different kind of
very
jobs.
happy to be wrong.
I think he's a good attack coach,
okay.
Yeah,
but I
agreed.
think he's
And I would agree there. I would agree that he's done a lot of good with what Brython has naturally for attack.
yeah. I just don't think that he was or is ready to be a head coach, and I don't think it's in his wheelhouse. And I also think that he's spread too thin.
So
Yes,
I think all of those are very fair. And so it brings me to what I really wanted to know, which is what does Kat have that he doesn't? Is there anything that we can analyze from that and that we could diagnose and say that like Brython would benefit from XYZ? Like, for example, I feel like if you brought Sian Lillicrap onto the coaching for Brython, that would do something because then you have a defense coach. Like, could we do that?
So I think Gwalia, I can't say the same for Brython, but Gwalia seem to have more backroom staff this year. There's more, there's a couple of coaches.
I agree, but how did that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I feel like we just don't know enough to really comment on it. But I think there is always that thing of like you can have two people who could have the exact same career path, and one of them, one of them might just be better than the other.
And
one of them has more potential than the other, and that's okay.
There are a million other factors too. Like obviously, like you have to have chemistry with your players. There are a million different. Yeah. I shouldn't have been so cavalier. Obviously, he's not.
No, there's a lot of nuance to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know, with the detail. I'm not convinced either side has enough support.
No. But so in the wake of all of this, do you guys fear because we don't know, everything is literally in contention as we speak and has been for weeks. We still don't really know Tensions are still high. Do you think that the Celtic Challenge teams will get those extra pieces?
I couldn't tell
I
you.
think it's bottom of the
It's bottom of the priority list.
yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed. I don't think they really care
probably.
right now. Probably. It's a shame.
And which I was going to say, which is kind of a shame, isn't it? Because like, and this would be very, very unpopular on any podcast about men's rugby at all, but it is a fact that, for example, Gwalia is your most successful Welsh team right now at all.
Yep. Yep.
Because you don't have the Ospreys, who were a successful men's club team. You don't have the Ospreys.
Yeah, although
And
I
they
will
play a
say
good brand of rugby. They play a good brand of rugby. Again, I'm biased.
this is not going to be popular, but the Ospreys haven't won anything in like over a decade.
Yeah,
But-
they won't like that, but it is true. But in terms of, when we say success, obviously we were talking like timeline of success. But
Yeah.
that's true.
I'm not even sure what's going to happen next year at the Celtic Challenge, to be honest.
I was going to say that outlook is even worse, honestly. If you have one team and it's the team that you barely give money to and they win in a rinky-dink league.
Yeah.
I don't want to be all doom and gloom though, because the Celtic Challenge,
the Celtic Challenge is a bright spot in a lot of not bright.
And like I said, the games have brought me a lot of joy this year.
Yeah.
And it's also been really good to see some of the young players coming through. I think Gwalia, and Britton have got some really good young players coming through, seriously. And they actually get me excited about them playing for Wales.
I was going to say, one concern that Welsh rugby fans who do follow the women's team have brought up before, and it has always been a concern, is the pathway. I mean, pathway itself is something that especially the senior women have talked so much about. What I think the Celtic Challenge has, or what the two Welsh teams have done well to do within the Celtic Challenge, is use it for what it says it was supposed to be for, and they're actually developing, and we get to see it. So now we see who's coming up. I wouldn't have known about Savannah Picton-Powell otherwise. I wouldn't have known about Catherine. Yeah,
Stella Oren is going to be
absolutely. Kath Richards, even like these are all people who the PWR is overlooking for whatever reasons. They don't want Welsh. I'm sure if we were a Scottish podcast, we'd be saying the same thing about these two teams.
Definitely. They also have some really good players coming through as well.
We say all of this because if you're on the fence about it, like seriously, give Celtic Challenge matches a try. I understand that it's not going to look the same as PWR. Okay.
It's not going to look the same as men's rugby. It's not going to look the same as the URC.
Okay.
Fine. Enjoy it for what it is. At the end of the day, it's free rugby that you can watch.
That's what makes it enjoyable to me.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
It feels more like rugby. I mean, I hate to be corny, but like it feels more rugby values to me than like the All Blacks 6th tour to South Africa. Okay.
I took my dad to see Gwalia play Britton, and he absolutely friggin' loved it.
Yeah, he had the time of his life, and that's a serious rugby dude. That's a rugby man.
He loved it.
Yeah.
So there's just so much going on with the Celtic Challenge. As we've said, this streaming. Very, very quickly, there was a new Gilbert deal this year, so they got their own ball, which Gilbert won't let me buy. So Gilbert, please let me buy the ball.
Gilbert, you're on notice.
I really want one.
Hey, the pod is back, so you get to bring it back. As we know, bullying works. If you think Gilbert should be bullied, put it in the comments below.
Yeah, and apparently women don't buy stuff though. Apparently, we
will get onto that.
We never buy merch or things.
I don't know what you're talking about, and we would especially never be one of the first.
Sorry,
and we would never be people who invest in new brands because we understand that.
No. Speaking of bullying, although this wasn't really bullying, merch. We traditionally Celtic Challenge merch does not exist. Socials were socials for the Celtic Challenge. Obviously, the Celtic Challenge has socials. Edinburgh and Glasgow were using the men's team socials, which is fine. It had a big audience, whatever.
I honestly, I know that a lot of people have criticism for that. Honestly, I kind of get it.
Yeah, I get
it.
It was using the resources that they had.
It made sense.
And because Scotland said from jump, like we are aligning with these two teams.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
In Ireland, they're using the Irish grassroots. We're going to leave that there.
I genuinely haven't seen. I haven't seen a lot out of the Irish teams.
I'm just gonna park that there. Welsh news. Obviously, we are slightly biased. We're Welsh fans. But the players themselves have set up their own
Which we're celebrating, but we're celebrating them,
with
not
a caveat.
WRU. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite. Yeah.
Same goes for the merch. Gwalior Lightning have released merch, but again, it's been done by the players. So good news, the money's going to them. Caveat, what the fuck?
I quite
Caveat.
concur. It's mad.
Oh my
It's mad.
God.
But
It's
this
It's like
insane.
asking the player to
comes,
make their own
It's
uniforms.
insane.
but
Can you
this
imagine
comes
Josh Adams? Can you
after.
imagine Josh
Thank
Adams
you.
setting up his own friggin' Instagram account for Cardiff?
Exactly.
And
And
oh
I do
yeah,
love
and
that
I've
as
got
well.
my own
Like,
Etsy. I've got my own Etsy of my
No,
of a
like,
t-shirt
thank
I
God-
made. I mean, come on.
thank
Sorry.
God Celtic Challenge is mostly young players, because like if it was a bunch of like aging players like us, we would have they're like, we made a cringy Instagram and everyone
Oh yeah,
hates it.
this is the thing. I'm 99% sure that the Gwalior and Brithon
Or run by
socials
someone's
are.
dad.
No, I'm pretty sure they're being run by players who are clearly doing like marketing or something at uni.
They're doing a decent job.
That's cute. That's cute and honestly fair. You
Yeah.
know what then? What Celtic Challenge would be smart to do, except for that now you can't because we need her for Bears. You should have gotten Jenna De Vera to come make you some cool hype films for free 99. She loves to do that shit anyway. Capitalize on your players,
Yeah.
man.
Did set up my own Gwalior fan account because
I was gonna say
I
I
wanted
didn't
to
know if you were
help.
gonna blow up the spot, but like literally
Just
one
wanted-
of us set one up,
Yeah, and we also, me and my sister, set up our own podcast. We want to try and
which is awesome.
we want to try and build up.
You are
something,
trying to
a
make this a real
community.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we so want to make this a success. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this, and we are having fun with it as well. But we were just like, well, if the WRU aren't going to do it, then we're going to do it.
So this is a Hattie question, and I think I probably have asked it and didn't understand, so I'm just going to ask again. Who owns Celtic Challenge? And by own, like who's in charge of it? Whatever. Who runs the competition?
I don't know.
Right.
It's a really
so
good
this is weird
question.
to me.
So from
This is
what
weird to me.
so it was originally a World Rugby thing.
Funded
Project.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I think now I assume so. From what I understand of business and how like the URC works and how the Six Nations work, I'm assuming it's a joint enterprise between the three unions because they all have to vote on things.
That's
So
what I
like
assume
I
too.
know like the other year Ireland really, really wanted to put in 4 teams and the other two
Mhm.
said no. And I know Ireland are still pushing to have 4 teams, but I don't understand
sure
why the
are.
other ones would say yes.
I mean, for a million reasons, that's not fair.
Yeah.
I don't see a world in which this happens. I don't know. I've been going back and forth on it.
Do you think it's part of the I mentioned it earlier, the CVC agreement? Maybe it's to do with that as well. I don't know.
Venture capital.
I don't know.
Because it's the home unions. I'm wondering.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not that much of a business person. I just go along with these things. But yeah,
I was gonna say you did tune into a podcast where 3 women go. So from what I know about business,
we've all got humanities degrees.
I know it's really bad. It's really
Yeah, it's
bad.
that
We have
bad.
3 of the most worthless degrees.
I have a fine art degree.
Unfortunately, 2 of you have a fine art degree. And I have political science, which is fake. Which it turns out
I'm media.
I thought you had a photography degree.
Well, no, I did. Yeah, no, I did do photography my final year. It's like my major. So, okay.
My degree is literally in fine art.
Yeah, that's more art. I think that's like to me is like art.
Yeah, it was.
My science is so fake that it was still a bachelor of art.
Yeah.
It has science in the name, and they said.
Yeah. So honestly, we're just going with it. Anyway, I feel like we've talked a lot about the Celtic Challenge.
Yes.
So we should move on to, guys, it's the best women's domestic competition in the world. I don't know if you've heard.
Have you heard about it?
No.
We knew we'd get that.
The PWR. So very quickly, I'm going to run through the standings and then ask Julia a question. So obviously at number 1, it's Gloucester Hartpury, 45 points. They're running away with it. They've got 9 wins,
Unbeaten.
9 games with 9 bonus points. Blah, blah, blah. Saracens 2nd, Harlequins 3rd, Chiefs 4th. Then we move into the kind of like battle zone. We've got Trailfinders on 25 points, Loughborough Lightning, my children, on 22. Move into the bargain basement a little bit. We've got Sale Sharks on 14 points, Bristol Bears on 13 points, and then Leicester Tigers 9 games played, 9 games lost, a points difference of -467, and 1 bonus point.
Ooh,
So 1 point overall.
wow, that's tough.
If you would like to hear more about Leicester Tigers, I would suggest listening to the Leicester Tigers Women's Fancast.
Who we love, and that's why I didn't like
Yes,
that we had to say it at all, because
I
those are
know.
our
It's mean.
buddies.
It feels mean.
It does
does
feel
feel
mean.
mean.
But
I
with
would love
that,
to see them do better, I
I
have
was
to
gonna
say.
say,
I hate seeing a team
Jacob's
like
stronger
that.
than the troops.
honestly, Jacob. But the thing is, I will say, I think Leicester, like from what I can see, Leicester have really adopted Leicester Tigers women's. Like Jacob is
Yes.
constantly on the radio talking about
I
them,
know.
like all of this stuff. And so, like, it's really mad to me that like the team that I'm not just, and I say this with the kindest heart, the team that stinks so bad are so beloved.
The Ted
I
Ted
know.
Lasso team. Like,
I know. It is sad.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a bit ironic.
but don't worry,
moving-
we have worse news.
Moving one up from
Oh.
them on the leaderboard, I'm going to ask Julia, what the fuck, Bears?
I mean, I will start by saying it would be more frustrating if there weren't answers, and I feel like they aren't answers that people will like, but I feel like okay, right out the gate. Oh my God. So top level item, Dave Ward left.
Mhm.
It's just what it is. Dave Ward, the head coach, left. I
And that
think
was a
probably
shock.
one.
That was a big
It was
shock.
a huge
Mhm.
shock. He had just re-upped, so that
So
already
weird.
brings questions. You know, again, from confidential sources inside Bears camp, I did get bits and pieces, but I know that morale was down after the Dave thing. Understandable. Another huge, a huge what the fuck from all of us, including the insiders that I am citing. They genuinely almost didn't recruit. I think that they were the only team that really didn't put in an effort at all at Rugby World Cup. Who they got was, there are a few others, and I'm sorry that I'm not going through all of them, but there are 2 top level ones, obviously, that got the most attention in Pamphlet Buisa and the Black Ferns captain, Ruahe Demand. That's fantastic. However,
They were both like mid-season.
they're both mid-season.
When did Maisie join?
She was pre-season.
Oh, she was pre-season, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was actually properly signed. She was
Yeah, but she was like basically one of the only ones.
Right, yeah. I can't remember the timelines.
Yeah, it was her and then a bunch of honestly like equally young Welsh. We know that Savannah Picton-Powell is there now.
Yeah.
We have a few other Celtic Challenge folks. But those 2 big signings are great. They are both partial. Pamphlet Buisa, I think, is staying probably till the end of the season. But I know that she always has her eyes back on sevens. She is a true crossover, which is awesome. But I will say this now. I don't want to pat the Bears on the back for getting those 2, because basically Simi Pam recruited Pamphlet Buisa. Pamphlet got hurt. Pamphlet traveled to the World Cup. She's on the Canadian national team. She did travel expecting to be in the World Cup. She injured herself in a warm-up and couldn't play. So she pivoted to comms, which if you follow her on socials, which you really should, because that's kind of her big endeavor. She makes videos that she edits. They're like serious business. It's cool. But she spoke about it in one. She didn't expect to go into comms, but she was already there. Why waste a ticket? You could be there on game day, but you could still do other stuff. That's great. But in the passage of all of this, and because she had more free time than expected, as you do when you're in a diaspora community, she reached out to some other folks of African descent, and Simi and Christiana Balogun welcomed her into Bears camp. I have old pictures of it because I was screaming, because I did predict, we're not going to put it up because it's self-aggrandizing, but I did predict it when I saw pictures of them in the World Cup. I was just going to come play for Bears. And she did. Ruahe Demant, basically, if you are Ruahe Demant and you say, I want to play in PWR, everyone goes, yeah, sure, you can be on my team. You could come here. And Bears probably had the most money.
Yeah.
Because they didn't recruit anybody else.
Because they didn't recruit anybody, and they didn't replace the 10 that left.
No.
Well, I did hear a rumor that a Black Fern was joining the Bears quite a while.
Yes, we heard it
way
as well.
before the World Cup.
So my thinking there, and we did hear about that, and that was reliable. We did hear about that. So my thinking there is it was probably on the wake of Alona Mara leaving and being like, well, I mean, we're
Yeah.
known for this now. Like we make big signings, we pay a lot.
Yeah.
And
And
you
I
know,
think, sorry, I was just gonna say, I think there were so many black ferns sniffing around. They were like, "Oh, let's release this remove," even though it's not concrete.
yeah.
Yeah.
And on that topic, I hope we can call her friend of the pod. She doesn't listen, so we'll just do it anyway. Friend of the pod, Alice Soper, has talked a lot recently about the changes. A lot of people who are fans of PWR but don't necessarily keep up with every little international happening. Historically, New Zealand's rugby union, the NZRU, has been really stringent about the women going and playing overseas. That's why we haven't seen very many Black Ferns at all. It's also why we haven't seen Australians. They did the same thing. But it seems like, even if there hasn't been an official policy change, from what Alice has said, basically it sounds like among the girls, like the floodgates are open. It's open season, you can go.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that. And so I do think, Bears got lucky one time. I don't think they will get lucky like Demant again.
And it should be said, Ruahe is leaving, I
and
believe.
she has to leave.
To go back for Alpiki. But I don't know if the other black ferns in other clubs have to.
Yes, they are all leaving.
Okay,
Yes.
when's that then? Because that starts soon, doesn't it?
March.
Yeah,
March. Yeah,
okay.
I think it's for the
That's it.
we break for the Six Nations.
Oh, there's loads
Yes.
going on with that as well. We don't have time to talk about it.
So, I only say that because when everybody was getting really excited about Ruahe, I was just reading comments. I wasn't a part of the conversation, but it sounded like they're like, it's a short contract, which isn't amazing. And she has said, or she knows that she can't be there for finals, so wants to put in the most that she can to get them there. But not being there for finals would suggest that it probably won't be past March.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
So, to the answer to what the fuck Bears, there is a new coach. I don't
know much about this guy. Where did he come from
so
again?
here's the deal. He's Scotland. He's coming from the
That's
Scotland
it.
camp. He was a Scotland national guy. He was the defense coach. I erroneously, the last time we spoke when he had just been announced, I erroneously thought that he was a scrum coach. He's a defense coach. Okay.
Right.
So he's a new coach. His thing is defense. We sign a new 10 who's amazing. Okay. Our attack is historically not great. It feels to me like a lot of the parts don't match here. I'm not ready to say that the coach is not a good coach because the Scotland girls really back him. I would be curious. So that was what they all said when it was announced. I'd be curious what they say now. I'm curious. They don't seem any happier than anybody else.
No, I have two things. One, I think it's a bit like when we said about Ashley Beck, he wasn't head coach material.
It just wasn't everything ready
yet. Secondly, it is important to point out that Bears, especially in the first half of the season, had massive injuries, and they're also now a crash.
It was an absolute crisis. And now there is. And I will say this. You know what? Bears woke. So
they've got two pregnant players and one postpartum.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then just to finish off, I think this is possibly our shortest pod ever because we've only got one last thing to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Sian, do you think Gloucester Hartpury 4P is on the cards?
I do, yeah.
End the podcast. We don't even have a conversation for this. We all said yes.
Honestly, it's nuts. It is absolutely wild to me. When Sean Lynn left, I was like,
exactly. It could go one way or the other.
Yeah,
exactly.
and I was thinking, oh no, how much of that is going to affect Gloucester because they've been so dominant, three-peats, blah blah blah, the narrative that we all know. And if anything, they seem better this year, and it's blown my mind. And I don't know if it's because is it Murphy who's now head coach? Is it Dan?
Yeah, Dan Murphy.
Yeah. So he's obviously a good coach as well, but they already know him, and he was already do you know what I mean? He was there already, so that step up was probably a really natural transition.
Natural. And I think as well, like because of the way that Sean Lynn left, I think the transition would have been there.
The transition wouldn't have been bad.
Yeah,
exactly. That's another thing I'm thinking as well.
Yeah.
Do I think
that
Sean
makes-
Lynn, it wasn't all about Sean Lynn? I mean, no, I
I
think
do
he had a
now.
massive,
I
think he's had a massive
oh
part in
sure,
it.
yes,
But it's never
absolutely.
all one person. They've got
It's
a
never,
core
but
of amazing
all-
players as well.
I was gonna say the thing is, at the end of the day, you did not take away Mo Hunt and Zoe Aldcroft. So
Exactly.
You did take
Emma
those.
Singh.
They're
yeah,
the
but I'm talking
only-
like the absolute backbone of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, those three. Yeah.
If people don't know anything about the English women's structure of rugby as well, Gloucester Hartpury are the only sort of women's team that has a direct feed in from Super Bucks, which is the University League, which is
Loughborough not?
Hartpury. They do,
Yeah.
but
Which
they
is Loughborough?
also have a championship side. So they
Oh.
have Cheltenham
Oh, yeah.
Tigers, who are in the top league, and then they have, I believe they're the only side that has both. There
Oh
are
wait, one more question. Exeter? Because Exeter is definitely in Bucks.
they are in Bucks. I think they now have a side in championship.
Okay.
But like this
Interesting.
is the first year, I think. Whereas the thing is, there was a year where Cheltenham Tigers, which is the champ side, Hartpury and Gloucester Hartpury all won the championship in the same year.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Like,
and I mean, this
Also, I
is
think
just
there's another issue here going on, and I think this is an issue, and it should be affecting Bristol as well. The Gloucester have got a rugby hotbed, but they've also got South Wales to pick from as well, and they do get a lot, so many Welsh.
I mean, we
players
like
through.
Hartpury is genuinely 50% Welsh.
It is a lot. There's
the
a
uni
lot.
side.
And
They are a halfway.
Yes.
But
No,
I-
but it genuinely is. We joke and like, yes, it's fun to say that pithily, but like when you look at it structurally, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's been an argument within Welsh fan community, Wales rugby fan communities is just like, can we just outsource our training forever? And the answer is no. Like
We have Cardiff Met, but apart
Yep.
from that, I mean, Cardiff
And
Met
but then
are on
Swansea
this
after
side
Cardiff
in
Met, they
Bucks.
don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's a Celtic challenge, really, isn't it?
This is the problem.
Several people who go and play at Cardiff Met then go to Gloucester Hartpury anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the one thing I will say this year that has felt a bit different, and this is just to loop back to the Celtic Challenge and blah, blah, blah. I do think with having Sean Lynn in with Wales, is that with the Gloucester Hartpury players coming back, it seems to be a bit more friendly on the Celtic Challenge side. So like Cecilia Turpolotu went back and she
which is pretty
kind of got
cool.
fit. You saw Gwen Crabb leave Gloucester completely to go play for Brython.
Honestly, the right idea.
Yeah, the players aren't getting sort of snatched back from the Celtic Challenge to go play in like Bucks in the week that they are allowed to play in the Celtic Challenge.
Right.
Whereas what we're seeing, like as soon as the PWR started back up, Maisie Davis was taken from Gwalia. So they seem to be quite
Sian
friendly.
Jones did go back. Sian Jones, we lost Sian Jones
Yeah,
as well.
she did
So
go
Gloucester.
back. But otherwise it's been
And
a
Savannah
bit
Big
more friendly that side.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I
But
didn't
no,
know
I
that,
can't.
but that's a really good point.
I can't see anyone beating Gloucester. I think the stat, like, I feel like I don't know, like Harlequins are playing well. I don't know. I feel like the teams are a bit more even below.
What I know,
Yeah.
that was what I was gonna say. It's like it that is the top line item. Yes, I know for a fact GH is gonna win again. But what has been really fun is, especially in that middle of the table that Hattie was talking about, there's a lot of movement.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's
competitive.
changing. Like
It's great.
It's so
Like,
competitive.
Chiefs are fourth,
Mhm.
Loughborough sixth, but Loughborough and Chiefs drew.
I know, I was gonna say, and Trailfinders is drawing with everybody. Like, absolutely, there's a lot of movement.
We had
Yeah.
2 draws last weekend, which blew
Yeah.
my mind a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
I
that was-
can't remember the last time that's ever happened.
It was crazy and hurt my feelings.
I know.
But
I
yeah,
know.
that's
But-
our women's rugby treehouse catch up.
That's our Women's Rugby Treehouse catch up. As always, thank you for joining us. As we said, we are going to keep trying to be consistent. Just a caveat across the board. I don't know if you've noticed from like where all of us are from, but like things aren't amazing in either 3 of our countries. Not astounding. Everybody isn't amazing in the brain or the heart. We intend to do a regular season. We apologize if we don't, but the more we talk to you guys and the more we get good ideas, the more we'll be on here. So put in the
Got Six
comments
Nations
below
coming
if
up.
you put in the
Nations
comments below
coming
if you watched this. No, we do have Six Nations coming up. That's exciting. We are really hoping to have date information for WXV. God, I hope Pack 4. But
Like, we know some things about WXV, we know some things about Pack 4, but just
Yeah.
give us all of it.
give us all of it.
I
And
love Pack 4. I love Pack 4.
I know.
It's like one of my
And
favorites.
and again, because this is my pet issue, we are going to be pounding very hard on this table. And hopefully we get Lisa B back in at one point. But we are pounding on this table, expand the Pack 4, Japan and South Africa.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. Email Hattie. She'll tell me. You can email me if you want. Get it going. As always, thanks so much for joining us. We will be back next time. And until then, enjoy your rugby.